This was the moment when two bomb-laden drones allegedly exploded during a military parade in Caracas on Saturday. Security agents quickly surrounded President Nicolas Maduro and hustled him off the reviewing platform. Meanwhile, Venezuelan soldiers marching in formation broke and ran in all directions. Witnesses described loud blasts and smoke.
I looked out and I started seeing people running, and that's when the device immediately collided there and everything started coming out.
Maduro immediately blamed his right-wing opponents for the apparent attack, elements of which he said were active in the United States. He also implicated Colombia's president, Juan Manuel Santos.
They tried to assassinate me, and I have no doubt that everything points to the right, the Venezuelan ultra-right in alliance with the Colombian ultra-right, and that the name of Juan Manuel Santos is behind this attempt.
Colombia's Foreign Affairs Ministry called that accusation absurd, and in Washington, President Donald Trump's national security advisor strongly denied any U.S. role.
I can say unequivocally there was no U.S. government involvement in this at all.
It has been widely reported that Trump repeatedly suggested a military invasion of Venezuela last year, but was talked out of it by senior officials. Bolton speculated, without providing evidence, that Maduro's government may itself be responsible for the apparent drone bombing.
Now, with respect to what happened last afternoon, look, it could be a lot of things, from a pretext set up by the Maduro regime itself to something else.
On Sunday, Venezuela's interior minister showed pictures of a type of drone he claimed was used. Officials allege each carried a kilogram of the plastic explosive C4.
We have so far 6 terrorists and hitmen detained, several vehicles seized. Several raids in hotels have been carried out in our nation's capital, where very important evidence has been gathered.
Caracas released pictures of Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino visiting with 7 soldiers said to be wounded in the incident. Anti-Maduro political leaders fear that Maduro's government will use the case to justify a harsh crackdown on the opposition. The Broad Front Opposition Coalition tweeted that the government would take advantage of the incident, quote, to criminalize those who legitimately and democratically oppose it and deepen the repression and systematic human rights violations. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Holding a huge debt that they can't repay. So we go back at some point and say, you know, you can't pay your debts. Give us a pound of flesh. Sell your oil real cheap to our oil companies. Vote with us on the next critical UN vote. Allow us to build a military base in your backyard. Something along these lines. And when we fail, the jackals go in and either overthrow or assassinate these leaders. And if the jackals fail, as they did in Iraq, then we send in the military.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem, Rakah Qudash, double understanding apostles, a great millstone, and taught me this truth through the Spirit. And salutations to all you sincere laborers out there pushing this truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty. And blessings also to you followers and you sincere listeners. All right, first I want to thank Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai for giving me the Spirit to do another video. All right, and as you can see, the Venezuela president was the failed attempt assassination that didn't work. And as you can see, President Trump, they said President Trump said that they should be invaded by the military, you know, some time ago. Okay, and I merged that clip from that economic hitman clip to the video from Al Jazeera. Okay, and that's what, you know, that's what's happening. All right, because as you can see right here, I just typed in Venezuela, rich in natural resources, and they are, man. Okay, Venezuela is awash with natural resources such as diamonds, bauxite, gold, iron, and natural gas and petroleum. This is the point, natural gas. See how natural gas is like, is bold as hell right here? Natural gas. And as you can see in that video, Economic Hitman, they see a country that has oil. And what, you know, what happened is, you know, the president didn't agree with with the shit that they had going on. So what? It says once they the jackals fell, which they did, okay, they tried to assassinate them. It didn't happen. Or what? And they said President Trump said that they should be invaded by the military or something to that point, all right? But it says the GDP of the country is 378.9 billion as of the country's largely depends on oil revenues, okay? And that's what it is. They depend on oil revenues, okay? And that's what those countries, the economic hitman, that's pretty much the interest of what they're interested in, which accounts for 95%. So they depend on 95% of the export value, around 12% of the country's GDP value. So yo, they make most of their money off of oil. So what? It goes to show you they're heavily rich in oil. But the so-called white man, being the devil that he is, all right. Once again, we talking about these devils. Once again, elite banking families. Okay. These devils right here. This is who we're talking about. These devils. Alright, so I'm going to go to this. I'm going to get a few scriptures and I'm going to close out. Covet. That's what they're pretty much doing, man. Covet. First one I'm going to get is in the law, man. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservants, nor his maidservants, nor his ox, nor his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. It says, or anything that is thy neighbor's. Matter of fact, let me get a quick precept real quick. It's like it. I'm going to get that in a blue letter. I think it's 21 and 17, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it's like very bad memory. Exodus 20 and 17. Okay. Covet. Covet, all right. To desire, to take pleasure and to delight and to desire, to desirable, to delight, greatly desire, greatly, desirableness, preciousness. Okay. To delight in anything, all right, in addition of a benefit, okay, something be desired is something desirable, which is dearest to one. Okay, so you shouldn't covet, you shouldn't desire your neighbor's resources, man, and that's in the law, Exodus 20 verse 17, nor anything of thy neighbor's, because that belongs to your neighbor. The Lord gave every nation, okay, their own land and their lot. All right, next scripture I'm going to get is in, bear with me. This is just off the dome here. I didn't have nothing set up. You know, Deuteronomy, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go to Micah. The book of Micah, that's the one I want. Right here. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand, and it is in the power of the so-called white man's hand. Because how is he able to dominate and take over the world? Through the sword, through the force of power. What? Gun, firepower, military might. All right, that was the blessing of so-called white man. He's known as Esau. Esau, reading the book of Genesis, okay? Isaac blessed Esau with the sword. By the sword thou shalt live. Did not the one who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which Yahweh Shai, he that lived by the sword shall die by the sword. All right, your modern day sword is an instrument of death. All right, modern day sword can be a bomb, a gun, a nuclear missile, a grenade, okay? So it says it's in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, so they desire fields. They take fields and take them by violence. All right, and that's what they do. They take fields by violence. Here it is. They want it. They see a country with oil and they want it. All right, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Because look at how America was gotten by covet. They coveted it. They took it by violence. They killed over 100 million Native American Indians. All right. Okay. It says, therefore, thus said the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil. Who is that family? The family of Edom, Esau, the so-called white man. All right. From which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. Okay. In that day shall one take a parable up against thee, and lament with doleful lamentation, and say, we be utterly spoiled. He hath changed a portion of my people. He hath removed it from me, turning away. He hath divided our fields. Okay. And that's it on that. I'm going to go to Habakkuk, which would be the next verse. Salakia. Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2. All right. I'm going to get right to the point. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and as death. So that's what a so-called white man desires. He enlarges his desire as hell. Hell is a bad condition. All right. He brings hell upon all these nations. All right. Want to come and set markets and factories, okay, when people are living completely good off the land, naturally. But what, he want to come and pollute the water supply with factories and gas stations and concrete cities and all this sorts of thing, man, when people live beautifully off the land. So enlarges his desire as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him? Yes, they should. Because all these countries are seeing that America is that satanic, disgusting, greedy country that just wants to just consume and take over everybody. What it say? They want to plant a military base in your backyard. Look, there's American embassies. Let's look that up real quick, man. All right. American embassies. I'm going to do it like this. Around the world. There we go, right there. See if they show us a picture. Usually they have like alright, that's something closer. I'll see if I can find a better one. But usually they have something like this to show you. American embassies. Alright, this is more something like this. Okay, they try to set up these embassies everywhere. All right, and I think this one is pretty accurate if I'm not mistaken. All right, but yeah, America has an embassy damn near everywhere around the country. Around the world. I'm sorry, around the world. And if this is correct, which I think it should be. All right, but you get the picture. All right. They have American embassies everywhere, man. This is documented, this is real. Okay. I don't know how accurate this one is, but this is, you kind of get a picture. They have an embassy, try to put an embassy damn near all around the world. Okay? That's what they do. All right. It says his desire is as hell and as death, and cannot be satisfied. Okay? But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? Okay? Venezuela is not yours. Iran is not yours. Iraq is not yours. Afghanistan is not yours. Okay? So on and so forth. Those countries are not yours. So woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Their resources belong to them. The Heavenly Father divided every nation their portion of their land and their lot. And in the law, he stated, do not covet your neighbor, okay? To take from your neighbor. Nothing at all. Okay, it says, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that thick clay represents debt. Okay, so he laded himself with thick debt. All right, America's over 20 trillion some dollars in debt, over $21 trillion in debt. Shall not they rise up suddenly that shall bite thee and take thee, shall vex thee, and shall be for booties unto them, for spoils, okay? Because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. That's why we got the World War III getting ready to pop off, okay? Many nations shall spoil thee. All right, they're going to make bright the arrows, okay, and destroy this place. Everyone going to bend the bow, okay, and destroy this place. Shoot nuclear missiles. That's the interpretation of those arrows, all right, the nuclear missiles. It says, and people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, for the violence of the land and of the city, and that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness. So that's evil, covet and evil covetousness. To his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people. Okay? So they has consulted shame to America by cutting off many people. Thou hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, of the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. Once again, America. America was built off rape, rob, and murder of the North American Indians, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Taino Indians, all right, the Aztecs, the Incas, okay? Behold, is not the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in very fire, and the people shall weary themselves with very vanity, for the earth shall be defiled, just like for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as waters cover the sea. And that's what happened. That's what's happening. All right. This knowledge being filled. You got these men, you know, all over the world, Hebrew Israelites, filling this earth with the knowledge and the glory of the Lord. Okay. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor strong drink. It's like they give his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him and maketh him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Okay. And that's what the so-called white man does. Give his neighbor strong drink. That strong drink represents that philosophy. Okay, take this way of life. Do this way of life. And people, the nations get drunk off of that. Okay? Staggering. Here it is. You go over these people's countries and so-called, what you say, liberate women. Now women have the rule over men. Look at America. Look at the divorce rate in America. Why is that? Because they changed the ordinances. Okay? They put in women over men, giving women rights. Okay? More rights than they should have. Making rights for lesbians and homosexuals. Depopulation. Okay? It's all that drink, that strong drink. Giving his neighbor that strong drink. Democracy. Alright? A way of life. But with that, man, I don't want to make this video too long. Alright? Lord willing, you're edified. And give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Ba'ashem Rakal Kadash. And double honors to the apostles of the great millstone that taught me this truth, the water. And salutations to all you sincere laborers out there pushing this truth in sincerity and faith and honesty.